Hello you buggers, this is Duncan Kinnaird from DKG here, and we have Burnie on the bench, or Ben like to calls him Burnadette, because Burnie is apparently a girl. Now I'm going to be fitting a new bridge to Burnie, which is one of these nice lumps of metal. So it's a 2-pin fixed bridge. It's not a fixed bridge, sorry, it is a tremolo bridge, but it's fixed with 2 pins. And so, yeah, I've got to measure that up. Now, got to talk to you about making assumptions, because this is a Stratocaster style guitar, and the Fender scale length is 647.7 millimeters, or 25.5 inches if you want to talk in old money. So I was, and of course the bridge is usually the same distance from the 12th fret, this distance here from the 12th fret to the nut, to the bridge, that's the same distance. That's basically the middle of the scale length. I guess you all kind of knew that. Now what's interesting is when I measure this one to the 12th fret, I'm getting 323 millimeters. It would probably have to have brought my glasses, which means it's 1 millimeter short at the 12th fret. Here's the kitchen squire neck, which is obviously made by Fender, or made to Fender specs by somebody in China. And if I line this up, hang on, I'm going to move the camera in closer to try and show. So we're a bit closer now. So if I just line this up nut to nut, you can see that these frets here, they all line up, these frets here all line up, these frets here all line up, but they all just start to go off until you get down here. You know what? I'm going to take the camera off the stand. So I've taken the camera off the stand and put my tie mic on, which I forgot to do. And anyway, if I just run the camera along, you can see we're pretty much, well, we're aligned at the nut. I'll try not to let this slip. And you can see that all the frets just start to shy away from the neck, the square neck. So this is a slightly shorter scale length than the standard Fender. So to have made the assumption that it's a Fender scale length would have been bad, would have been a big mistake, and the bridge would have been put in the wrong place, albeit it's just a couple of millimeters in the wrong place, and there's enough movement in the intonation on the saddles to have brought that back. But you know, just don't assume. Okay, so that means this has a scale length of 600, well, that's actually, if I read that again, it's 322.5. Yeah, it's 322.5, so that makes it a scale length. 322 times 2, 644, 645. So it's got a scale length of 645 millimeters. So it's 3 millimeters shorter. So I go to the 12th fret and put my ruler in the centre of the 12th fret. I know this is a really super accurate ruler. It's made by RS. They don't make crap. So we want another 322.5. That is where the bridge wants to be, and I need a nice sharp pencil. Where's my nice sharp pencil? 322.5. So that's the position that we want the bridge saddles to sit. Right, so we knew Burnie was in for some surgery, but we didn't realise it was going to have to be this extreme. Now, this line here, you can't really see it very much. Where's my Sharpie? I'll just draw that in. I'll remeasure it off. Right, very scrabbly. There you go. That's where the bridge needs to be. If you get the old saddle, the old bridge, you pop that in, you can see that they more or less hit that point, hit that position. So if we put this bridge in, these saddles have all been set around about 3/4 of the length of the screw. So that's probably about as far as you'd want to go with the bridge saddles. Without intonating, I want to fix this bridge with no play this in this direction, and that works out to around about 5mm. That won't go any further that way. There's no more hole. That means that we have to take this back around about 5mm to allow travel, or allow for the bridge to be set far enough forward that's going to that the saddles will actually be in the right place. Okie dokie, better prep for that. Okay, so I got called away the other day, and well, basically when I came back, the camera battery was flat, so I just needed to crack on. So I routed out the extra space I needed, front and back, for the new bridge. I've also glued in a new piece of wood just along here, just basically because we've thinned that down. We're going to put these bridge support pins in, and I wanted to make sure there was some structure there. We'll see how it lives up to gigging in a few weeks. So yeah, I'll bring you in closer. See if I can show you a bit closer. So I've measured up a centre line, and I've measured off, obviously I could measure off where the bridge saddles average out to, and so that's given me a distance where this front edge of this plate needs to go. I probably can't see it because it's very gently marked in. I've marked in the centre line for the bridge, and that matches up with the centre line of where this plate needs to be. Now the tricky thing is this has got to be the same distance from this point of the rocker to the nut as this point, and the margins of error in this are going to be quite high, because we have to take account the thickness of this collar. That's where the bridge rests against, and then we've got to then make the hole for this what do you call it? Oh, I forgot what you call these now. Roll plugs. You need to drill a hole big enough for that to sit in. So once that goes in, and the bridge sits up to there in both places, it's all got to line up. So it's a bit hair raising really. So this point here in the bridge saddle is probably the most critical, because this is the one point that everything references from. Because this will snug right into there. There's a bit of leeway at this end for the distance this sits in, but this one has to be just so. So I'm marking off here. Now I've measured the, one second, let me just get the Sharpie, get probably a bit more defined line in there, or maybe not. Kind of. Pretty easy for you to see. Now this, the base of this point here, the pin, that's 5mm. So we know that from the back of this edge here to here, it's got to be 2.5mm. That will give us the centre. And this point my ruler here does actually have millimetres. Now, let's try and be clever. Let's line that up. Where that wants to be. Let's set my calipers. To 2.5. We'll just check that. Yeah, 4.78. So it's just under 5 mil. Well, you know, you start marking off in hundredths of a millimetre, I'm damn sure the accuracy of drilling a hole. Now, can I get that in there? Yes. You probably can't see it, but there is a tiny dot there. That point there is the centre. Da 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 da. Let me just see how far that is away. So that's. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Have they been clever in this design? I'm just going to put that up to there. Put that up to there. Come on, open the right way. trying to do this. There, now that's interesting. On this bridge, if you put a straight edge up against that line there, that gap in there is the diameter of the bottom part of the bridge pin rocker. I should have really looked up all the names of all these bits and bobs. So when I was looking at this, and I just had 2.4. It's close enough. So when I checked that against there, that was actually sitting in the middle of the back and the front. God, this is getting long-winded. Now you see why sometimes I just like to forget the video, just crack on. But hey, you know, you want to see this crap. I think you do anyway. Especially, I'm sure you'd love to see this. I think you'd like to see this go perfectly right or completely wrong in equal measures. Either way, it'd make a fun video, I suppose. Talking of which, about my videos recently, I think it's unusual that every single one of them recently seems to get a thumbs down. Oh, I missed. A thumbs down, and that thumbs down is coming from Germany. A strange coincidence. Right. There we go. That's on the belly, on the mark. Where does that phrase come from? On the belly. I just made it up. Right. So we know that somewhere along here, there's the point for the centre of this, and here will be somewhere the centre for the pin this side. Right, now this ferrule, just remember the name, is the usual kind. It has the little stripy marks to lock it in place, and this collar here is the size we need to drill the hole. .48. Thanks a lot. I don't have an 8.48 or 0.333. Why do people work in inches? I mean, what was that? That's 33? Was that
3 hundredths of an inch or 3/38. It's going to be some stupid size. I don't understand. I understand metric. Just makes sense. Anyway, 8.48 mil. I could try an 8 mil first of all, because if I go up to a 9 mil, could just be a little bit loose. If I go to 8 mil and just work it a few times, I might be able to just remove that extra bit off the side. Now the question is, do I just go straight in with an 8 mil drill bit? Probably not a good idea. It's hair raising stuff, this. So we have a 2.5 mil drill bit. Just running it backwards first, just to burnish a start. Okay, it's looking good. And on this side. Right, we have holes. Let's pray to God they're in the right place. Guess what? I've got an 8.5 mil drill bit. Fantastic. I'm not going to go straight in with the 8.5 because there is a possibility for that tip just to wander a little bit. So I'm just going to give me a bit more of a larger centre hole there with a 6 mil drill bit. Again, just go backwards first. Alright, then gently. Right, okay, so now for the 8 mil, 8.5 mil. Right, I need to just tape off. I'm going to stop drilling. Or thereabouts. Might as well lose that now. You can see why I glued in the extra bit of wood. This is nerve-wracking. Well, that's not for the faint-hearted, I tell you that much for nothing. Right, let's see how that goes. That's too tight. Was that 8.5? It says it's 8.5. Let's do a little bit of more measuring. Sorry, do it that way. Eight and a half. 8. Why the hell does that say? It's not even 8. Look at that. Tell you what, it says 8 on the flipping doodad. I bet you these are the wrong way around. It's a good job it didn't happen the other way around. I ended up drilling with a 9. There's a lesson for you. Check. That says 8 as well. What in God's name? This pack, cheeky sods, excuse me, fucking Halfords, give me two 8s. What a bunch of useless. Right. Time to check out my reserve drill set. Okay, my reserve drill set has got an 8.42. It's not very pretty. Now you have to be very careful if you're taking out a hole that's just a little bit bigger, because the drill bit will grab and draw the thing straight down, so you have to try and prevent that. Let's see how that goes. Right, better. Now I still think I still think that needs to go bigger. Maybe a 9. I'll measure the outside of the ferrule. It's 10. Yeah. So I'm going to go up to a 9. I wish I had an 8.75. And yes, I am going backwards. I think this drill is losing power. Right, anyway, let's see how that goes. Oh my God. That's still pretty tight. So I change my battery. damn it, how big do you have to go with these things? So up I go to a 9.5. I can see me in the end having to glue these in because they'll be so freaking nice. Right, I think I've got to the point. Just a little bit of countersinking. I'm going this. Before I start forcing that in, I do feel I want to just back up along here a little bit where I've strengthened this side, because I've obviously taken some away this side with the for the bridge to England angle. Wondering if it's too thin. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just fill it in something. And then I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to force these in. I don't want to just hammer them in. Possibly use my drill press just to shove them in. I don't know if my drill press will span that far though. It might have to be gentle tapping, and then you can just watch the whole thing explode. Do you want to see it explode? I'm sure Ben would like to see that. Okay, so I'm going to use a metal hammer. I just want to protect the top there. Just a few gentle taps. I just want to see what's going to happen. See, I'm not forcing it as such. I'm just kind of testing it. I think that's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. I think what I need is a bit of wood, just to serve as a bit of protection rather than a bit of masking tape. Okay. Right. Bit of fussfulness, but they're in. Just hope to God they're in the right place, eh? Right, back onto the bench of doom. It's such a bloody mess. I'm just trying to get this sorted because I want to get this out to Ben because I'm away tomorrow and he needs it for a gig next week. So it's crack on, crack on, crack on. So I've got everything all routed out, cleaned off. I've got the pieces of wood that I added in, that's just been dyed, so it all just blends in a bit better. The ferrules are in. I've trimmed the pick guard down, so that will now match the shape of the new hardware. So before I put it all back together again, there's one thing I want to try and do, because there are a few knocks and bumps in the surface of this body, so we're just going to try the old trick using an iron and a damp cloth. Now this has just been finished with Danish oils, things like that, so this wouldn't work if it had been sealed with polyurethanes or anything like that, but let's see what happens. This isn't a critical thing, it's just something that's worth trying to do while everything's off. Yeah, problem is I don't want to damage anything, make it any worse. It'll probably need a bit of a polish up afterwards. It is pulling out the dents. I mean, there are some dents and scratches in here that are just inherent into the whole thing because of the bumped up, dented piece of wood that you started off with. So I'm not entirely expecting to get rid of everything. It's better like I say, this is just a quick attempt just to try and improve where we can. It is certainly improving some of that. Is it getting rid of them? No. I wouldn't say it's getting rid of them. Not entirely. Where did that one go? There it is. I'll probably need to actually spend a bit longer on this anyway. Well, that one's gone. it certainly is improving some of them. Alright, that's better. Better. Not perfect, it's just better. But I need to crack on. Get this puppy sorted. So what's next? I want to put a bit of thread lock on these, barring having any thread lock. I will probably go and grab some nail varnish. Other ideas you could probably use are, you could just use a bit of clear coat kind of thing, just to spray it on to the thread. That would lock it. Might do that. In fact, I probably will do that just so I don't have to go and hunt down some nail varnish, because I don't know any. Yeah, but there's lots of things you could use as a thread lock. Obviously, don't use super glue. Don't use Gorilla Glue. You could possibly use PVA or something like that. Something that's going to stick. It's going to grab, but it won't actually bond the pieces together. Yeah, what shall I use? I'll go with the tried and true method, nail varnish. Okay, while I'm waiting to get my hands on some nail varnish, I'm just going to flash burn the tops of these wooden veneers. I'm not going to use the heavy-handed burner that I used before. I'm just going to use a light one here. I'm not going to go mad. Obviously I don't want to go mad because I don't want to melt the wires underneath. So, cool to the touch, which is good. And just a wee bit of finish on that, really. Where's my antique varnish? Antique oil. You can see that the pickups, actual covers themselves, they're back to white. Now, the reason for that is, well, there's a few reasons, but one of the aesthetic reasons I've done that is because they were originally black, and I just think once these are set in to the pick guard, just that little bit of white will just help. It'll just make that colour a little bit more distinctive. I could be wrong. Can always go back to black. Right, now I'm going to mount all the electronics back into the bit guard. Electrics are all on. Just want to get ready to rewire jack. Right, let's just clean this out. Okay. Oops, sorry. Oh, it's always fiddly, this bit. Just getting it in. doesn't really help that I'm trying to get it done quickly. That's nice and solid. Just try and point it into the hole rather than just holding it just straight on. Doesn't help that this wire is pointing in the wrong direction. Put that down. Get in there. Right, let's try it. Let's try to persuade it a little bit. That's better. There we go. So just decided to pop out again. Oh, come on. See, this is where you could do with those little claws and things, just to hold. You could put an elastic band around that or something. See, I haven't got one to hand, and as you know, I am just trying to get this bugger out the door nice and quick because I've got a lot to do tonight, as well as guitars. At least this isn't being shipped off anywhere, so if there's any problem I can get it sorted for Ben. Right, that all seems good. Now I'm just going to pop a few screws in just to hold everything in place just a little bit. I'll plug it into an amp. And just make sure everything is all just, do an old tap test on all the pickups. None of which are set at the right height yet. Always tricky to know what the height is until you've got some strings on. Now, I thought I'd give them some nice new shiny screws. I must admit, these do seem to sit proud of the countersink. I'll have to have a look at the old ones, maybe they're a smaller head. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Right, where's the old screws? There's the old screws. Put one of these in and see what happens. I mean, they don't look any different. No, they're not any different. I guess just my quality standards are getting higher. Right, so that's all in. I'm going to raise these pickups up a little bit because I think they're bottoming out. there's a wire stuck under there. La 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 la. Let's put that out of the way. There we go. Now I did just tidy up the wiring, but did it too quickly, I guess. Could have been done a little bit neater. Right, okay, let's get an amp on it. Oh my god, that's tight. Make a difference. That's a bit scratchy. That needs working a bit, just to clean it up a bit. You should sit and do this for like half an hour. I've got sprays that you can for contact cleaning. I've lost the little tube that you need to help get it in there. Now, strangely enough, one time I did use a contact cleaner on a tone knob, and it jammed up. It sort of like melted the inside. But anyway, that's all fine. I don't understand why this. Oh, flipping heck, that is really tight. I'm going to have to take that off and have a look at that. Maybe the spring needs bending out a little bit. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a tight connection. That is just a little bit too tight. That's fine. I don't understand. I think that needs just a wee bit of drilling out the back there. Well, that's a pain. I'll wrap that up with something. You can wrap it up in ribbons, you can wrap it in a sock. But don't get it out in public or they'll put you in the dock. And you won't come back. Thank you very much. Alright. Oops, there goes me mic. I'll put you there for a second. Wipe my face off again because it's really hot and I am dripping with sweat. Okay. one of the things is on this is Burnie's old jack plug. This is Burnie's old jack plug, and if you notice, it's got that horrible thing where the actual ton of thread is sticking out. So that's a clear indication to me that this one is kind of flush. That where and what's going on is there's not enough clearance at the back here for the spring, and the well basically the spring is jamming up at the back. Yeah, it's jamming up at the back and preventing the spring to open up, which is making it very, very hard. I don't like this at all. This isn't long enough. Let's get protection down. So what else have we got to do? Apart from do this. That's really awkward, that is. There we go. That should do it. Right, sorry I had to take it away there just to get rid of the dust. Right, let's get this baby bad boy baby back on again. See how that is. Straighten up. You've got to be careful that when you're screwing these back in again, they don't sort of accidentally catch the thread at the wrong angle and they'll start going in squint. There we go. That's better. Alright. Well, I'll just screw everything together. Let's get these bridge lugs threaded in. So just with a little bit of nail varnish. Don't need a lot. I'm avoiding putting it near the ends. That driver bit was just fine for getting that bit in there, but don't want to damage it if I can help it. Speed being an issue and all that. Right. I must be one of the few guitar technicians, if you want to call me that, or like a quick fit fitter, who actually flipping delivers work. Pick up all the bits off I dropped. Right, lid on the nail varnish. In the right direction. Wipe my face off again before I grip on the guitar. Right. Get the last screws in. Oh, a quick story to tell you. This is my Crimson Guitars fret leveling file. I complained a long time ago that it wasn't flat. Never heard anything. Emailed again, customer services. My fret leveling file's flat, not flat. I'm sure it's supposed to be like that. Never heard anything again. And then recently, Ben Crow, Crimson Guitars, we did a video, and he was talking about his fret leveling files and how, in fact, that he has to throw like 50% of them away because they don't stay flat. So I said in the comment section, you should put a truss rod in them. Kind of joking, really. A few weeks later, he emailed back, on the comment section. You can see it in the comment section. It says, "Oh yeah, we've just done our first run of Crimson Guitars fret leveling files with truss rods." So I said, "All right. Do I get to try one since I invented it?" He commented back. Says, "No, it's something I thought about months ago." And not to mention the fact that I emailed them months ago that mine wasn't right. And no, you're not going to get one to try out. Oh, okay, thanks. But you're quite happy to take my money on one that you would normally throw out. And then in the next video, he's there showing them off. More new fret leveling files. Even though he said to me in the comments that I was the one that inspired him to do it, because, or get around to doing it, because he'd been putting it off. Did I get a mention? No. As much as I love Ben Crow and Crimson Guitars, I do get the feeling it's all a bit self-promotional. I understand it's his own business, but you know, could have said hi, cheers, anything really. Right, so we're looking good there. I'm just going to clear some stuff off the bench again, get rid of the soldering iron. Oh no, I'm not going to get rid of the soldering iron because I've got to do the claw at the back. But I am going to pause the camera a bit so I can just clear things up a bit. It's all got a bit messy very, very quickly again, and I'll deal with new locking tuners. I've got a Fender roller string tree to go in, and put the bridge, well, claw it up. I mean, I can't do anything because it's going to hang loose. It's not fixed, so until you've got strings on it, can't deal with that. What I'm going to do is get it all ready, pack it up, just get some strings, take it up to Ben, and I'll probably try and continue the video from up there. But anyway, I'll back to you in a minute. Right, so the battery ran out quite a long time ago, and I just had to crack on and get this baby finished and get it over to Ben. So that's where we are now. We're in Ben's dungeon of his guitars.
Dungeon of Doom.
Dungeon of Doom, and he's going to open the guitar and see it for the first time again. And so here we go. Here's Ben.
Let's have it. That'll do.
So he hasn't seen all the new features, and there are some subtle changes.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Now this is what I meant. The exact like the a bit like the John Petrucci Music Man thing. That's much better with
John
the
Petrucci. That's the guy I bought it off.
Oh, awesome! The pickups look wicked. Now this is Owen from Wolf's Sword back in the day. Oh, I wish there were strings on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, just didn't have time to get the strings on, get it set up, and get it over to you. So there you go. We've got the Fender roller string trees,
Right.
locking tuners.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sweet.
I haven't put the back on yet, just so we can get it set up.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no point putting that back on.
Oh, damn good job with these veneers.
So
So you didn't burn them in the end?
They're very, very lightly burnt, very lightly.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
Because because they were fitted on to the pickups, I didn't want to go in too heavy with the torch in case it screwed up the electrics inside. But yeah, you can see they could have been even thinner.
No, that's brilliant, man. Perfect. Yeah. No, I mean you said you was going to do them without just going all the way over.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably wouldn't have changed the tone, but I mean I just think it looks cool like that.
That's fine.
With
That's
the,
fine.
The,
We'll try it on another one.
things going through. Yeah. Thanks,
So-
Duncan.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks so much, man.
Hey, another satisfied customer.
No,
Well,
I mean,
one
I
satisfied customer.
I haven't seen Burnie for 6 weeks now.
Yeah. And well, yeah. So unfortunately, he's got to get strings on it, get it set up.
Yeah, that'll be the next video.
I didn't have time to get all that sorted out. So, by the way, to the guy who's buying my kitchen Strat in the United States, this is not the kind of service you can expect. There'll be no handover delivery or unboxing. But
Well, if he pays for the flight.
well, that's an idea. Maybe I could just put myself in a Fender box. So, yeah, we'll leave Ben with it, and we'll come back another day when the kitchen Strat's done, and we can see Ben play it and get some kind of idea, some feedback from him, how he's getting on with all the components, and see if to make any further changes. And
I doubt it now. That's got to be it.
what confidence.
Super custom.
So that's the end of the Burnie story for now, and we'll see you later. Bye. Say bye, Ben.
Rock on, guys.